Hey there, Regina Anley here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. And today, or this week, we're actually talking about celebrating wins. Now, when I'm talking about wins, we're not talking about those big things. We're not talking about those big, huge wins. I mean, obviously, we celebrate those, right? We're talking about those little wins, those little tiny wins. Why do we celebrate wins? When you celebrate the wins, it actually gets your brain moving and it activates this thing in your brain, the reward system, where your brain starts going, but I want more wins. I want more wins. I want more good things so that I can celebrate some more because it likes to celebrate. So here's the deal. Celebrate even the little tiny wins. So I want to talk about 5 different ways to celebrate those little tiny wins every day so that you can keep that momentum going and create even bigger wins for you and your business. So tip number 1 is to track your decisions, not just your results. What do I mean by that? Well, a win isn't just what worked. Sometimes a win is choosing to actually act, right? So choosing to send that email, choosing to call that prospect. Maybe it's raising your price. Maybe it's saying no to the wrong client. There are all kinds of little wins like that. So it's tracking the decisions, not just the results. You'll see, if you think about it, you make these little tiny decisions every single day. And sometimes some of them are not quite that easy. Maybe you have a client who is not really working out. They're kind of a trouble client. I think we've all had them in the past. If you've been in business for any amount of time, you've had a trouble client because they come. And it's not that they're a bad client. It's just that they're not a good fit for you necessarily, right? And so making the decision to actually let go of that client and let them go to somebody who can help them better than you because it's a better fit, that's actually a huge win. It's a win for you. It's a win for them. So those are the kind of things. Track those decisions because you're probably making decisions that are big wins for your business. Now, the next one is to name what you didn't do anymore, what you stopped doing. So maybe you stopped you stopped a bad habit. That's a win, right? So sometimes the win is what actually stopped. You maybe changed that bad habit. Maybe you stopped second guessing yourself. Maybe you decided that you're actually not going to work late at night and you're not going to work 60, 70 hours in your business every week. Maybe you decided that, you know what? I don't actually really need to be at that meeting this week. Anybody who has meeting overload right now and is going, oh my gosh, I don't even know what meeting to be at. Meeting FOMO is a real thing, that fear of missing out. Well, everybody's going to be at that meeting. Do you want to be at that meeting or do you need to be at that meeting? If you don't need to be at that meeting, then don't be at that meeting. Use that time for something more productive. And when you make that decision to do that, guess what? That's a win. You chose you and your business. You chose your time. So name what you don't do anymore, right? Number 3 is to capture the before and the now moments. Think back. If you're wondering, well, I don't have any wins. What do I have wins? Well, what did you used to do that felt really hard that feels really super easy now? Guess what? That's a win. Something that you didn't know and that you went and you learned. That's a win. What used to take hours for you before, and maybe you implemented some AI in your business and now it takes minutes. That's a win. Celebrating all these little wins really help keep that momentum going. So that's number 3. Number 4 is to celebrate your follow-throughs. Now, when you think about your follow-throughs, if you're one of those folks who you're great at getting started, but not so great on the follow-through, this one's for you. So celebrate you finished something. Maybe you are working on a new program and you actually got it finished, got it ready to launch. Celebrate that. Celebrate maybe that you started being more consistent sending out a weekly email or social media posts. That's something to celebrate that you followed through. Maybe you followed through with a client that you needed to follow through with that you were maybe procrastinating for some reason. That is a win. So consistency beats perfection every time. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to get done, right? So if you're sitting there going, well, it's not ready yet, it's not perfect yet, I don't know exactly what to say yet, you know what? You do. You have stuff in your head. You're ready. Go do it. Follow through and celebrate that. And then if you need to wrap back around, you can always wrap back around and add more to it, right? So consistency beats perfection every single time. Last but not least, turn your wins into a lesson. Now, what do I mean by that? So instead of saying, I did this and I got this done, so that's a win, right? Say, well, what actually helped that work? How did I get there? Again, we're programming your brain, we're programming that subconscious to do more and more and more and keep bringing more to you. What would you repeat the next time? What are those lessons that you learned from the win? You can actually take those lessons. You're thinking about, what am I going to post this week? I need something to post. Post the lessons from your wins, because they're great lessons, not just for you, but for your audience as well, because they're working on the same things. So when you think about celebrating your wins, celebrating them turns your wins into momentum, and it keeps you going and it keeps you moving forward. So today, when you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, this happens to be Christmas week that I'm recording, that I'm doing this live right now. So maybe your win today is to pick up those last couple of Christmas presents. Yay, win, got it done. Got through all the traffic, all the people, all the stuff, and got it done. If that's your win for today, that's your win for today. If your win is, I needed to get the rest of my week set up so I can take the whole week, Christmas weekend off, that's a win. You got it done. So remember, celebrate the small wins. We all think about the big wins and we all want to celebrate the big stuff. And that's great. We want to keep doing that. Those are the big celebrations. We get the big rewards, the big celebrations, that kind of thing with those big ones. And yet every single day we have wins that we don't even acknowledge. And when you start acknowledging them, it starts shifting the way you think. And your brain starts wanting more wins. It wants more rewards. It wants more good things happening. So it keeps bringing things to you to bring you more wins. So think about that a little bit and celebrate today's wins, whatever they are. That's what I've got for you this week. We'll see you next time on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.